Don't just live for tomorrow, or just live in yesterday. Just be glad for all you have that's in today. And though you've come through many obstacles.
Hey everyone, Connie here with a special reaction today. This is a reaction to the trailer of My Little Pony: A New Generation on Netflix, which is coming in September, next month. For those who may not know, for those who may be newer to the channel through other shows I've reacted to and stuff, my channel got started because of MLP. Not this channel specifically, but my main channels and everything that I've had in the past. Because this is not my first channel, not by a long shot. Like, you can go back, my first videos on this channel talking about how my old account got deleted. But the gist is, I did YouTube before this, before I discovered MLP, but I didn't really do too much on it. It was mostly just posting like little videos of little videos that are basically compilations of GIFs. For an online wrestling fed and stuff like that. It was because of MLP that I really got started on YouTube. And it started with simple episode vlogs talking about the episodes. And it evolved into so much more. The first time I really started doing reactions was because of MLP. I started doing reactions to MLP and MLP-based content back in 2015. I had discovered MLP in 2014, the end of 2014, and I started reacting to stuff in summer of 2015. And that's really where reactions became my thing for YouTube, where I started to figure like, oh yeah, I love doing this. This is something I want to do on this platform. And it continued into other things too that I had dabbled in before, but MLP really helped me like come into them, and stuff like that is like with AMVs and countdown videos. It's like stuff again I had done prior, just not to any big degree and not to any really good degree, I guess you could say. It was definitely because of MLP that I really started working on those and started enjoying them more. And it's clear that without MLP, I wouldn't have discovered a lot of the shows I would have. Not only because MLP saved me from my depression at the time and a lot of suicidal thoughts. Also, I made a mistake earlier. I realized that now. I actually discovered MLP at the end of 2013, not 2014. Messed that up because I was thinking it was a little longer before I started reacting to stuff related to it. I said because it was 2015 when I started doing that. But yeah, it was late 2013. Just correcting that mistake. October, I believe it was 18th. Something like that. I might be wrong about the date right now. But either way, yeah, it's just kind of got me going into everything, like with all these other shows. And it's not just because it saved my life and everything. It opened up my mind to watching a lot of this other stuff that I didn't really watch before that. Because if I checked out stuff like Steven Universe and Star Versus, and eventually down the line stuff like Owl House and whatnot, it's because of MLP that I checked out a lot of these shows, and I became a lifelong fan of MLP. And while I don't talk about it too much anymore, just because Generation 4, Friendship is Magic, ended, I still am a huge fan of it. I'm still really like indebted to the series, to its characters, to the fandom, all of it. And so now we have the new generation coming. This movie is supposed to kick off this new generation, but from what I've heard, the movie itself, the characters and story in it aren't actually connected to the actual series that the next generation is going to have. I don't know how accurate that is, but that is what I have heard plenty in the past. Um, but so this movie is CG instead of like flash animation and everything. And from what I know about it, it takes place a long time, distant future after the events of Friendship is Magic. It's within the same canon. And all of the pony races and whatnot have kind of separated. They've grown apart. They've started to dislike each other again, because this is definitely something that is a thing that has happened multiple times in the history of the series, based on Friendship is Magic. Um, Within the history of the lore and everything, there has been multiple points where the races didn't quite get along. Um, there's even basically a holiday centering around that. So after the events of Friendship is Magic, at some point things started to, I guess, go downhill. But our main character, whose name is Sunny Starscout, I believe, is trying to get things back to the way they were, with friendship being so important within Equestria. And she kind of idolizes the main six of Friendship is Magic's era. She, from what I've seen of like screenshots and everything, she even has like figures and stuff of them. Um, so it's going to be very interesting to see how this is handled. Um, the cast we've gotten looks pretty interesting. We've gotten some good actors playing the roles. Sunny is voiced by Vanessa Hudgens of High School Musical fame. We have James Marsden, who is in the Sonic the Hedgehog movie, as well as even going further back, the original X-Men trilogy. He's going to be playing a character. Dr. Ken Jeong is in it. And Eliza Koshy of YouTube fame and everything is in it. And so many others. It's got a pretty good cast. Phil Lamar is in it. He's a huge name voice actor, famous for stuff like Samurai Jack. But yeah, the point is, some great voice actors and all are in this, and I'm excited. It actually looks like it's probably going to be pretty good. And we've been waiting for this trailer, because this movie, we've been hearing stuff about it for months and months now. But the movie comes out next month, so we've been waiting for a trailer, and we finally got it. So, yeah. Um, the reaction will be in on BitChute and Google Photos, linked to in the description below, just because of, possible copyright issues. It's still very possible even with a trailer, and I just want to be safe. I want to make sure that I keep safe with that. I don't want anything happening to this channel, like my previous accounts that had all that pony content on it. Um, so yeah, I am really excited to see what this has in store for us, though. And I'll most likely be reacting to the movie itself when it comes out. Um, we'll see how that goes when it gets to that point, though. Um, for the time being, we're just going to get this started and see what this trailer has in store for us. So when the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades to black and then fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will contain spoilers to the trailer. So that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you at the reaction. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. So, G4 ended in 2019. And it ended on a really good note. Not everything about the finale was great. There were some major issues, but it ended on a really good note. And I was sad to see it go. Like I said, I got into the series in late 2013. And so for a long time, for years and years, I had just fallen in love with the series and the characters, and seeing it go was hard. And my reaction is should still be up on this channel from then. Um, I lost it at the end, especially when it ended mirroring how it began, with the book that it began with opening, now closing. That really got me. As did the last song. Like I said, this series kind of not just got me going on YouTube, but got me into a lot of the stuff I'm into nowadays. And it helped me learn a lot about myself. And it was important for me. And it still is. So seeing this trailer got me emotional. And this looks different from G4, and that's a good thing. We don't want this to just be another G4. We want it to be different. We want it to have its own identity, but to still be good, of course. And it looks good. It genuinely does. Like, some of the humor is very much the same that you could imagine being in G4. Some of it is different. And then you also have the time period. This takes place in the distant future after the end of G4. The main six are no longer around and everything. And instead, you have this world where all these characters, where all these races have separated again. And it's even come to, like, the unicorns have lost their magic because of it. And you see that despite this as well, a huge difference between G4 and this is technology. Like, there was some levels of technology in G4, but it was very minor technology. Like, there were no airplanes, for example. There were blimps and whatnot. Um, Stuff like that. There weren't any phones. There weren't televisions or whatever. Um, the technology was very much in the past, which fit for G4's tone and characters and style. It worked. And now G5 being in the distant future, it's going to have more advanced technology. And it does. We see that. Like, we see at one point they're just playing basically DDR. It's like video games exist now in this world. And like, one of the shots that was released, a screenshot that was released before showed like these movie posters and stuff. There's movies, like theaters in this world now. And it's like, it's wild to think about. It's like when you first see The Legend of Korra. You're used to how things are in Avatar: The Last Airbender, how the technology is, where it's at. But then you see Legend of Korra, and there's fucking cars, and it's like it throws you so off guard. But it's like, yeah, this is like almost 100 years in the future. There's going to be some major changes. There's going to be some major technological advances, especially now that the Fire Nation isn't hogging all of that to themselves. It's the same kind of feeling. Looking at this and seeing like, okay, there's suddenly technology, there's suddenly movies and theaters and video games within these universes. And that's cool. That's a good progression. It shows how much time has passed in a way that we can understand, in a way that makes sense to us. we understand how fast technology can progress nowadays, but we also understand how long it took to get to that point. So seeing how different this world is at this point to the world of G4 is wild. Like even looking at the big cities we saw in this trailer. Compare the big cities like we saw in G4 were the likes of Manhattan and stuff, and they were still big cities, but you could tell they were very much classic in terms of design. But these current day big cities are much more advanced looking. It's just, you could tell they're more modern day inspired. And the characters look great. Like I said, Izzy was the character I was the most interested in based on just the little tiny bits we've gotten before this, little teasers and the visuals and stuff. She reminds me of Pinkie Pie from G4, and Pinkie was always my favorite. Pinkie, the Smile song alone is one of the big factors to my love for that series, and the thing that really saved me from my depression and all. Um, and so it's like something that reminds me of Pinkie Pie is like, oh yeah, that's going to instantly catch my attention. And it's not always great. It doesn't always work. But based on this trailer now that I've gotten to see Izzy, like actually see more of her, she reminds me of Pinkie Pie. But it is also different. She doesn't feel like just a Pinkie Pie clone. And I can appreciate that. Sunny seems very sassy. She kind of has like this sass to her, like when she's uh challenging the one guy to DDR and everything. I think that was Phil Lamar's character, by the way. Um, she seemed to have like this almost level of uber confidence to her. Um, and she seems very assured of what she's doing. Like she's not really worried about it. Now I don't know how that's going to actually appear in the movie. I don't know if there is going to be like a concern over this or if she's going to ever doubt her intentions. But her desire to bring Equestria back to how it used to be and to restore friendship as a leading tenet of the culture is something to be proud of, and she definitely seems as such. Um, and the other characters, we didn't see as much of them, it seems, but they seemed pretty interesting themselves. Hitch, I think his name is, James Marsden's character, seems like not airheaded, but just he's so focused on helping others. It seems that he's not always paying like complete attention to what he's doing. That's like when he gave the wrong kid to that mayor, um, and um, I haven't fully gotten all their names down yet. Zip, I want to say it is, because I think two of them are actually sisters, and I think there's Zip and Pip. I know Pip is one of them for sure. I think Liza Koshy's character, the one with the almost Rainbow Dash like hair, I guess you could say. Um, I think that one is Zip. Pip is the other one for sure. The more princessy looking one, the pink one. I think it's Zip though, but she seems like again similar to Rainbow Dash, but not just a copy. She seems to be cool and self-assured and very like wants to kind of show off a little. We got very little, almost nothing with Pip though, so I don't really fully get a grasp. I haven't gotten a grasp of her personality quite yet. Um, but we also saw a couple other characters. We saw Sunny's father, who seemed like really nice and supportive, and he seemed to be all about restoring harmony based on what we heard him telling Sunny when she was, I guess, younger. We saw the guy again, who I think is the one played by Phil Lamar, who's having the DDR battle with Sonny. We saw, I guess, someone who was supposed to be a celebrity, some mayor who was supposed to be a celebrity, getting photos taken of herself. It looks really interesting. Um, the world, it looks really good. The animation is something that a lot of people were worried about, but as the teasers started to come out and we started seeing like little tiny clips of the animation, people started to go like, "Oh no, that actually looks pretty good." Now seeing the full trailer, I can say that looks pretty damn good. Like the animation is actually really well done. Um, it's very fluid. It looks like it's just very natural. It works for these characters, and it definitely again helps it stand out. Now, supposedly, the actual series, the television series that's going to come for G5 is supposed to be 2D. It is going to be like normal like 2D cartoons. Um, so I don't know how well that's going to work, but I guess we'll just have to see. Um, because I don't know how they're animating that or whatnot and all the details behind that. But either way, this is looking like it's going to be something really good. I don't know if it's going to be on the same level as G4, though that's just something that's impossible to say at this point. Hopefully, it is. Hopefully, it does end up just impressing that much. And yeah, like I said, I should be reacting to this. There shouldn't be anything that stops me, but I guess just in case, I'll say I should be. Um, and I'm really excited. I am really genuinely excited to get into some pony content again. Because again, it's kind of what kickstarted me doing reactions and all. And when the actual series comes out, yeah, I'll do that too. And I'm just I'm happy that this looks so good. Because again, I spent so long, so many years just in love with G4. And I've seen generations 1 through 3. And while some of generation 1 could be pretty good, most of it was not. It was very much a toy commercial for the most part, especially gens 2 and 3 and 3.5, the dreaded G 3.5. But G4 is the one that really didn't feel like a toy commercial most of the time. It felt like an actual show with actual characters and plots and depth to it. And G5 looks like it's going to be taking that direction again. Characters and plots and depth and actual thought put into it. I mean, yeah, there's definitely going to be some things in it that it's like, oh yeah, this is going to sell toys. Of course it's going to. Because it's still Hasbro. But you also know that this is going to inspire so many people, so many artists, so many plushie creators, pin makers, and so much more. A whole new generation of just people are going to be inspired to create based on this movie, based on these characters, these situations, just like they were with G4. There's probably going to be new music, new animations, all kinds of new stuff. And that's what excites me the most. How not only the fandom of that already exists from G4 is going to handle this, but how many new people this is going to draw in who have not seen G4 or any past MLP and might be willing to go look back on it after this. It's going to draw in so many new creative people who are going to make awesome stuff. And that's what I'm looking forward to the most. not just how the fandom takes it, but how it draws in new people to the fandom. Even if they're just casual enjoyers of the movie and whatnot, and don't even go back and get into G4 or don't take part in a lot of other stuff. Even if they're just really casual about it, it still brings in so much more creativity that's going to just be a good thing for us going forward. Like uh, the encouragement of creativity is a necessity for the progression of humanity. We need to encourage creativity on all levels. And I can't wait to see what comes from this. It's so exciting. It looks really good. And I'm excited for what it's going to do. So tell me in the comments below, what did you think of the trailer for My Little Pony: A New Generation? Did you enjoy it as much as I did? And have you seen G4? Have you seen My Little Pony: Friendship is Magic, Generation 4? And what did you think of that as a series as a whole? And what do you think of the community? Have you seen any awesome fan art or fan projects, animations, compilations, music? Tell me your thoughts on all of that and more down in the comments below. And thank you so much for tuning in and for continuing to support this channel that really got started and really got its footing because of MLP. So thank you so much. And for those of you who have been here since the MLP days and have been here since I started the MLP days back in 2015, thank you so much for sticking with me. It means a lot. So for now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.